Number 9, Seljalandsfoss. These falls are among the best known in Iceland and rank among the most beautiful in the world. Part of the Seljalands River, the falls and their 197-foot or 60-meter drop are fed by waters from the volcanic glacier Eyjafjallajökull, a land of seemingly never-ending rainbows. Seljalandsfoss has the added bonus of a cave behind the fall's aquatic curtain, allowing visitors a surreal viewpoint. Best still, the location itself is relatively easy to access and can be seen from a nearby, well-used ring road. Number 8, Fitzvitza Lakes National Park, one of southeastern Europe's oldest national parks and a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1979. Fitzvitza Lakes National Park has over 73,000 acres or 297 square kilometers of something for everyone. Overflowing with waterfalls, cascades, hiking trails, and limestone canyons, it's hard to know where to look. But the lakes and their vivid colors are the park's main dish. Pitbitsa actually features 16 interconnecting lakes, all of which change color thanks to minerals, organisms, and a trick of the sun. Number 7, Algarve de Benazio. Located on Portugal's southern coast, this seaside gem was once a fishing-based region, but today the Benazio Sea Caves draw visitors based on looks alone. It's best accessed by water, by kayak, boat, or swimming, but your efforts will be rewarded with unfathomable beauty. Like a vast cathedral of divine handiwork, this natural grotto, with its rocky walls, silky sand, and weathered skylight, is enough to make you feel small and insignificant, and yet protected against everything else the world has to offer. Number 6, the Cliffs of Moher. Dismantled during the Napoleonic Wars, today the only reminder of the fort for which these gorgeous cliffs were named is an old watchtower. Rising 390 feet or 120 meters at Hag's to a height of 702 feet or 214 meters down the coast. The cliffs are home to 30,000 birds from 20 different species, including adorable puffins. A look in any direction provides a view of other Irish dreamscapes, including the 12 Pins mountain range, the Aran Islands, and the Mountain Turks Mountains. Number 5, the Great Barrier Reef and Whitehaven Beach. The world's largest structure made by living organisms, the Great Barrier Reef was constructed by coral. It's home to diverse aquatic species, from whales, dolphins, and clownfish to leatherback turtles and 9 kinds of seahorse. What's more, the nearby Whitehaven Beach is considered one of the planet's most beautiful and eco-friendly beaches. The coast is lined with glorious white, 98% pure silica sand, which doesn't retain heat, meaning you can walk the shore till your heart's content and never burn your feet. Number 4, Antelope Canyon. Known to the Navajo as the place where water runs through rocks, Antelope Canyon is more majestic than its name suggests. It's the product of millennia of rainfall and floods, eroding and smoothly carving deep corridors into the Navajo sandstone. But the canyon walls are only part of the attraction. The rest is sunlight, sneaking its way through the canyons and creating the appearance of fire. Naturally, summer is the best time to visit, as the light beams are more plentiful and more interesting. Number 3, Iguazu Falls. One of the modern natural wonders of the world, this staggering waterfall system, the largest of its kind, sits on the Argentina-Brazil border, meaning big water in native languages. This natural attraction is unique in that it can be accessed from 3 different countries, given its additional proximity to Paraguay, because something this beautiful needs to be shared. Effectively a chain of mini waterfalls, the lion's share of the river passes over a U-shaped chasm known as the Devil's Throat. Number 2, Moraine Lake. Situated just 9 miles or 14 kilometers outside the village of Lake Louise in Banff National Park, in view of the Rocky Mountains is Moraine Lake, fed by glaciers. This rock flower blue lake was once featured on the Canadian $20 bill, earning one view the moniker the $20 view. Among the country's most photographed locations, the lake is unsurprisingly popular with hikers. It crests in late June, but visitors can take in the Rockies or their reflection on Moraine Lake nearly year round. Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some
Ay, yung signal.
honorable mentions. Number one, Salar de Uyuni. Resembling a vast, unending mirror, these are the world's largest salt flats, covering a roughly 4,100 square mile or 10,000 square kilometer area.
Diyan na
Once a
sila.
proper lake in prehistoric times, today the flats are made of a 10 billion ton layer of salt, under which sits between 50 to 70% of the world's lithium reserves. Sparse in terms of vegetation and wildlife, the almost unnaturally level flats also have chemicals like magnesium, platinum, and chloride. But more importantly, they're really beautiful. Ano bang pauwi na sila? Aray ko.
Aray, sakit. Nabangga ako. Wait. Sakit ng braso ko. Ay, na-signal. May gulay.
Although it is the world's second smallest continent, Europe welcomes more than half of all the tourists worldwide. In fact, 7 of the 10 most visited countries in the world are European nations. It's easy to see why. A well preserved cultural heritage, rich history, safety, and efficient infrastructure makes visiting Europe a breeze. Here's a
Wala akong signal.
look at the best places to visit in Europe. Number 25, Vienna. As the former seat of the Habsburg Empire, Vienna is
Ikot, ikot. Magkape ka, te?
Awash with impressive imperial buildings and palaces,
Kape tayo?
comprehensively convey the wealth and power of its former
Oo.
monarchs. Now the capital of Austria, the city is a delight to get lost in.
Yung oras
Nicknamed
na.
the City of Music,
Alas
the names of
3:30.
its famous residents roll off the tongue, with Mozart,
Kaloka talaga ako ng signal. Ba't ang ina-ina ng signal ko ngayon man? Ano daw? Ba't
Beethoven, and Schubert among those who once graced its streets.
ahak? May may nagapanood na ibang lahi. Tagalog ako ng Tagalog, hindi ata to ano. Hindi ata to Pinoy. Wait lang. Nasaan na yung isang dot ko?
Number 24, Stonehenge. You have to marvel at the determination of prehistoric man when you look at Stonehenge. Construction started about 3000 BC on what was originally burial grounds. Huge monoliths weighing 25 tons were dragged 150 miles to the site a few hundred years later. It's not known exactly how many humongous rocks were moved to a field near Amesbury, but there are 13 standing today. It's also not known why Stonehenge was built, but many believe this great English landmark is associated with early astrology. Number 23, Matterhorn. Egypt may have its pyramids, but Italy and Switzerland have a nature-made pyramid of their own, the Matterhorn. At 14,692 feet high, this famous mountain is one of the highest in Europe. The mountain has four faces, each equally rugged. The legendary mountain has been popular with climbers since the first ascent in 1865. During the summer, 150 people a day try to climb it. Couch potatoes may be just as happy to stay below and gaze in awe at the summit playing hide and seek with the clouds.
Oops. Oo. Nangyari.
Number 22, Plitvice Lakes. The Plitvice Lakes are so pretty, officials turned them into a national park. Located in central Croatia, Plitvice Lake consists of 16 lakes that attract more than a million visitors a year. The lakes are surrounded by lush forests and connected by waterfalls, cascading down from one lake to another. The lakes are divided into two sections, lower and upper, because of the difference in elevation. The best way to see the lakes is walking. On the route, you might even see some wildlife. Number 21, Budapest. Budapest was already an established city when the Hungarians took over in the 9th century. Today, Budapest is the country's capital and largest city. In between these two events, Budapest was ruled by the Mongols and the Ottomans, among others. Considered one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, Budapest is home to the Museum of Fine Arts with its collection of more than 100,000 works. Be sure to visit the centrally located Old Town with its many museums, churches, palaces, and parliament buildings. Number 20, Lisbon. The Portuguese capital of Lisbon lies on the Tagus River along the Atlantic coast. It is this location that encouraged explorers to sail far and wide around the world in the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries. One of the things you'll want to see is the Belen Tower, a 16th century fortress on the Tigris's north bank. If you're looking for good views of old Lisbon, head to St. George Castle that was built on a hilltop by the Moors. Number 19, Goosebumps. You probably don't know too many people who've been to Iceland, but it may be worth a trip there to visit the spectacular Goosebumps waterfalls. Located in southern Iceland, Goosebumps is one of Iceland's top tourist attractions. At times, it almost appears glacier-like, appropriate perhaps since it is fed by a glacier. The waterfalls begin just after the Opusa River makes a perpendicular turn and then cascades down a three-step staircase into a canyon that is 116 feet deep. Number 18, Athens. Athens, a city that's been inhabited since the 5th century BC, gave the world the concept of democracy and is the birthplace of Western civilization. civilization. Many of the city's major landmarks can be found in the Old City, particularly around the Acropolis. The list includes the Temple of Zeus, the Theater of Dionysus, where Sophocles' works were performed, and the Parthenon, which sits atop the Acropolis.
Address ko yung scale.
Gotthard region is a crossroads of watersheds. Here, Switzerland's most important river embarks on its journey towards the North Sea. Many Swiss rivers often flow through a lake. The Rhine and Lake Constance, locally known as Bodensee, are no exception. A scheduled ferry service links Romanshorn with Friedrichshafen in Germany. The Bodensee ranks third in the largest lakes of Europe. Its banks are shared by Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. Neutral Switzerland escaped the ravages of 2 world wars. As a result, many towns have preserved them. Medieval centers, as seen here in Stein am Rhein. The Swiss sense of tradition also made a contribution. The Rhine produces the largest waterfall in Europe. Over a width of 500 feet, some 154,000 gallons of water per second cascades 75 feet down. Just before the border with France and Germany, the river splits the city of Basel, hub of commerce and industry, and main port along the Rhine. Basel is also the border station for railways and road traffic. 7 bridges, the first dating from 1225, span the river between Greater Basel on the left bank and Little Basel on the right. The Rhine, as an industrial artery of transport, begins further upstream at Rheinfelden. Greater Basel contains the historic city centre, which is dominated by the Minster. Its Roman origins can be traced to the year 1019, but it was rebuilt in Gothic style following the earthquake of 1356. Swiss towns are modest size-wise. Their architecture reflects the inevitable influence of various styles from abroad, as seen here in St. Gallen. Classicism.
Pangit ng ilaw.
Gothic. And the Baroque of the Basilica. Bern was founded in 1191 on an isthmus on the River Aire. Exactly a century later, the cantons of Uri, Unterweiden, and Schwyz laid the foundation of the present Swiss Federation. The city centre has been on the World Heritage List since 1983. This also includes the St. Vincent Cathedral, the construction of which took more than 80 years, starting in 1421. This fine example of late Gothic style was being restored during our filming. No less than 10 Swiss objects were listed as World Heritage in 2010, and we shall see more of them later. Bern and bears have coexisted since 1513. Bears even feature on Bern's coat of arms. This pit, from 1857, now vacated and retained as
Mabuo ako sa internet.